SB Agile. We're really excited to have you here. Really excited to learn from Dylan. So, purpose of SB Agile, we're here to help nurture and develop and grow a community of people interested in learning about Agile software development and how Agile applies to other realms as well. It's great to see some familiar faces from the past and some new faces as well. So I really encourage you to talk to as many people as possible, get to know each other throughout this. Wanted to say we're affiliated with the Scrum Alliance and I think the Agile Alliance. If you collect SEUs for Scrum related certifications, you can talk to me about how to get credit for this event. Also want to thank Citrix as well as Appfolio for sponsoring this great venue here at Citrix, and for supporting our group for many meetups. Appfolio as well, so we really appreciate their support. And let's see what else. Yes, so I would love to introduce you to Dylan. And Dylan Kearns is an Agile coach that I've known for more than a year now, I think it is. He's a classically trained pianist and a native of Santa Barbara, so there's a little bit of background. He also got his CS degree at UCSB. And he's been doing, he's a Rails developer, working as a professional developer for some years now, and then he started being a consultant, Agile consultant, working on transformations of all different sizes more than a year ago, and so he continues to grow and thrive in those areas. And he also is a practitioner of NVC. Some of you are familiar with that, NVC, nonviolent communication, so some great different communication skills to bring with teams. And yeah, I'm just delighted and just so happy to have Dylan here, and really welcome him. He's going to teach us some facilitation skills, and so without further ado, Dylan.
Thank you. Thanks. And Heidi is awesome, and this meetup, and thanks to everybody organizing and helping out with this. So thank you guys for coming. Let's dive right in. Why don't you guys give me a few highlights from the opening conversation? Hopefully you guys had some interesting thoughts on that. So what makes a good meeting? Let's start there. Actually, maybe let's start with bad meetings. You guys want to start with good or bad? Bad. All right. What makes a bad meeting? No energy. All right. What else do you guys talk about?
No agenda.
No agenda.
Everyone on their phone.
On their phone.
Unprepared.
Unprepared. What else? Long, okay.
No next steps, owners, or due dates.
What was the first one?
No next steps.
No next steps, owners, or due dates. All right, so no clarity on what came out of the meeting and what the outcome was. Cool. Non-interactive. Cool, why don't we get one more? Boring. All right, cool. All right. Post this up for reference here. All right, good meetings. Focused. What else makes a good meeting? Passion. Collaboration. Strong goals and agenda. Some of the things that make bad meetings bad make good meetings good. What else? Maybe two more things.
Everyone participates and is heard.
Participation.
Honesty.
Honesty. Interesting. Okay, cool. All right. So this is a talk about facilitation techniques. So it's a little bit meta. So we've just kind of done some sort of interaction facilitation. So why don't you guys kind of reflect on what's happened so far. So just take a couple minutes with your table groups and just talk about the kind of interaction that you've seen so far and how that compares to a regular meeting.
We all each other and
Awesome. Can I get like a quick summary from each table group about kind of some of the things that came up in their discussions? Yeah.
Well, we just noted that the participation was there sort of widely in the room, and then there was an opportunity for those who maybe didn't participate more widely to get a chance to do so now. So very engaging.
So are you talking about the participation in the opening activity and maybe if
No, I meant in the meeting so far, right?
Gotcha.
Invite people to participate by calling out answers to these questions.
So everybody gets their hands in it.
Yeah,
Even not just the people who originally shouted some stuff out, but everybody in their table groups. Awesome. Cool.
You were getting feedback from people in the room, trying to get us used to giving feedback and creating a safe space for that. We weren't, well, after the first one, we weren't seated with, this is the sort of thing that I'm looking for, so it was very open to what we were going to spit out.
Awesome. Thank you.
We sort of felt that you sort of helped frame the agenda, right? When we sort of walked in and saw the two questions, we sort of got engaged in the actual topic itself, and had some preconceived ideas when we were talking about it. So it sort of drove the discussion and sort of had a free form.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. How about you guys?
We thought that the questions certainly got easier for new people, and everybody was talking, so that primed the conversation, primed everybody for the meeting itself.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. So yeah, my friend sent me a text just before the session saying like, "Hey, good luck with your session tonight." And I was just telling Heidi earlier, like, I don't need any luck. It's everybody who's participating because, you guys are in the hot seat. I'm just kind of standing up here and framing the conversation is something that came up. So, so the goal for this topic is I really want to give everybody something that they can take away from this, that they can bring to any meeting, whether you're a facilitator, a scrum master, or even just a leader in an organization, or someone who participates in meetings, which is probably everybody. So I just want to give you guys kind of a set of tools that you can use to make meetings more engaging and more effective. And the topics that I'm talking to you guys about tonight are from something called Training from the Back of the Room, which is a fantastic approach. And training is a little bit misleading. It's very relevant for facilitation in general. So awesome book. And this is just scratching the surface. So if any of this stuff interests you, I highly recommend checking this out. If you do training or facilitation professionally, this is an amazing book. All right, so I've got some, and feel free if you guys have questions to just stop me at any point. I've got some concept maps on the tables. So there are kind of two different colorful sheets of paper. So just go ahead and make sure everybody has one of each of those pieces of paper and a pen. All right, so let's start with this groan zone sheet here. So this is actually from the Facilitator's Guide to Participatory Decision Making. It's a mouthful, but it's an amazing book, and it's actually very readable. So if you guys, again, are interested in facilitation stuff, which I'm guessing a lot of you are because you're here, this book is amazing. Highly recommended. So the groan zone graphic that we're looking at there is from that. So groan zone. So going from left to right here, you can see the circles there represent ideas that are coming from the different members of the group that's kind of brainstorming in a meeting, right? So it starts out, there's a new topic. Several ideas are out there. And you kind of early on get into the familiar opinions. Oftentimes what happens in a meeting is people start to kind of generate a lot of different types of ideas. And before they've reached business as usual, they end it there and they stop considering new ideas and generating them. So that's the idea here, is that you're generating a lot of different concepts. So this type of thinking is called divergent thinking. So in the yellow box on the top left, you can write divergent thinking. So the groan zone, I won't get into too much. It's just a little bit of a teaser. But what the groan zone is it's when you're trying to take all of the diverse thoughts that are out on the table, and you're trying to kind of make some sense of what it all means, and come to some sort of decision or shared understanding about what you're going to do. And again, a lot of these things were talked about in what makes a good meeting, having action items and owners coming out of it, having an agenda and goals, having it be focused, collaborative. Maybe if you're not diverging enough, it's not collaborative. Okay, so the blue box on the top right, that's convergent thinking. Okay, so a few general principles about divergent thinking and convergent thinking. So the first item I've got here is the stance. So the stance in divergent thinking, and I lost my little cheat sheet. One second, let me see if I can find it. All right, it's gone. So the stance in divergent thinking is generative. So you're in a stance where you're trying to generate what's going on. The stance in convergent thinking is evaluative. You're trying to evaluate what's going on. The discussion in divergent thinking is an open discussion. The discussion in convergent thinking is, gosh, and now I wish I had my cheat sheet. Is it over here?
One right there.
There are too many of these. I'll take a guess. There we go. I found my cheat sheet. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so the discussion is open in divergent thinking. And the discussion in convergent thinking is often characterized by summarizing. So summarize goes in that box. So with ideas in divergent thinking, the goal is to gather ideas. With convergent thinking, the goal is to sort ideas. So these are just some of the characteristics. It's not just one thing or another thing. It's several things. But I'm just trying to give you guys some of the qualities of divergent and convergent thinking. And judgment, any guesses for what judgment is for divergent thinking? Yeah, exactly. Judgment is suspended. You suspend judgment in divergent thinking. This is when people say in brainstorming, there are no bad ideas. That's divergent thinking. That doesn't mean that you don't evaluate those ideas later. It means you get those ideas out there. So you suspend judgment as you're diverging and generating ideas. In convergent thinking, you exercise judgment. You actually want to judge them so that you can come to some sort of decision and evaluate and come up with a shared understanding. So that's kind of what's going on in the grown zone, is you're trying to go from all of these characteristics and qualities on the left and move to the characteristics and qualities of the right. Okay, so the reason I've got all of these points is because I find that they're extremely helpful in, for a facilitator to have in the back of his or her mind to just know, what does this conversation need? Have we got all the options out on the table? If so, then maybe we need to start evaluating them, and maybe we need some facilitation techniques for that. If not, then maybe we need to get some more ideas out there. So that can kind of inform your stance, okay? So, so I'm going to talk about a few concepts from training from the back of the room here. So if you look at the other concept map you've got there are 5 different boxes. So I'm gonna give you 5 things to put in those boxes and go into a little bit of detail about them. So these are all from Sharon Bowman's Training from the Back of the Room. Again, amazing resource, and if any of this stuff resonates with you, you should definitely check it out. It's all in there. So the first, and all of this stuff is based on the way that the brain works. You're trying to educate people based on what we understand about the brain and brain science. Okay, so the first is positive. Number 1, we want to have positive emotional experiences. So this is true whether it's training or facilitation. Ideas stick better when they're positive. Learning is a non-rational activity. And again, whether you're facilitating or training, you're exploring these ideas. So you're learning no matter what. Whether you're learning ideas that you're coming up with on the spot, or whether you're learning something that's already kind of known information, it's non-rational. So in order to internalize an idea, you need to connect with it first. So positive experiences, so our brain actually has something called the reticular activating system. And that part of our brain controls where our attention goes. So if somebody starts talking about some physics concept and you don't care much for physics, your reticular activating system is saying it's time to go to sleep. If somebody starts talking about something really interesting and fun, now your attention is captured. So that's the first element, positive. The second concept of brain-based learning is multisensory. So multisensory, whether it's auditory or visual or kinesthetic, some of you, when you hear those terms, may be a little bit skeptical about some of this sort of learning styles, which a lot of the science for that has been debunked. What's been debunked is that if you create a curriculum for auditory learners that focuses on auditory, if you create a curriculum for visual learners that focuses on visual, there's no evidence that that makes those learners learn better. But if you have a multi-sensory experience where there's visual stuff, where people are moving, where people are writing, where people are talking and listening, that variety creates better learning. So that's the principle here. It's multi-sensory. And what's more, if people are moving around, that gets more oxygen to their brain, so their brains actually function better. The third one is variety and choice. So, a little bit related to multisensory, but you get a better synthesis of ideas when you have a variety, when an idea is presented or explored in different ways through different types of activities. And the learners, when you're given variety and choice, the learners are able to make sure that their own learning needs and goals for the meeting are satisfied. Active participation is number 4. So there's this idea in training from the back of the room, whoever does the most talking, teaching, moving, writing, and drawing is doing the most learning. So right now, I'm doing a little too much talking, but fortunately you guys are doing a little bit of writing, so that's the saving grace. So you guys are connecting to it a little bit more. But I'm going to keep my talking to an absolute minimum because when I talk, the spotlight's on me, the learning is happening in here. When you guys talk, when you guys write, when you guys brainstorm ideas, you're all learning, you're all engaged with the material, you're all coming up with new ideas. So, for example, if you're teaching somebody how to ride a bike, do you go past them riding a bike and say, see, this is how you do it? Or do you let them get on the bike and try it? Active participation. So you give people just enough to get them started, and then you step aside and let them learn. And the last one, number 5, informal learning environments. So this is a really subtle but important one. A lot of the details of the learning environment help people be more engaged, and everything you do in the learning environment sets a tone that sends a message. So right now, for example, imagine that this room was set up with several rows of seats facing me. The message that sends is, I have stuff to say, you guys are listening, I'm the expert. But that's not how it's set up. You guys are set up in tables of 5, which means, look who you're learning from, the people next to you. The tone that you use and the wording. Are you encouraging people to participate? Are you correcting what they're saying? Or are you letting it be? When you guys are giving me this feedback here, I'm not arguing against it. I'm not telling you what I think or what's more important. At most, I'm reflecting back what you're saying and making sure I understand it and assuming that it's valid. Now, in some cases in the training, someone may have a misconception. In that case, you may want to correct it. But you want to be careful not to put the spotlight back on you because you want to send the message, you guys are the learners, you guys have some relevant knowledge to connect to here to create a meaningful experience. And that's especially true of facilitation. Okay, so I just talked a whole bunch. Now it's your guys' turn. Form into groups of 2 or 3 within your tables, and take about 30 seconds to take turns summarizing what you think are the most important things about all of the concepts that I just dumped on you. All right, so this session is about facilitation. I told you guys that if you're learning to ride a bike, you don't want to watch someone ride a bike. You want to try riding a bike yourself. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to try out some facilitation techniques yourselves. So, at each table, there's a little paper-clipped group of 6 different cards. So what I want everybody to do is everybody pick one of these that resonates with them. So everybody at the table, grab one that resonates most with you. You're going to be preparing a section to facilitate for everybody. So one second before you guys dive into that, just so I can give you the instructions here. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up with a prompt with your group. I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes. You're going to assemble into groups of people who are doing the same facilitation exercise. So 1, 2, and 3 are over here if you pick 1, 2, or 3. 4, 5, and 6 are over on this side here. So somebody from the group just self-organize into your groups. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up with a prompt, get creative. On some of these, you've got some examples of prompts that you can use, but I invite everybody to get creative, get people thinking about facilitation in creative ways with some creative prompts. So one example might be, if you were to create a facilitation game, what would it be? Okay, so get crazy with it, get creative, try to get some juices flowing. So you guys are going to have 5 minutes with your group to come up with your prompt and prepare how you're going to facilitate it. And then I'm going to step back and be in the audience, and you guys are going to come up here and facilitate, okay? So you're going to get 2 minutes to facilitate your thing. Maybe we can do 3 minutes. We'll do 3 minutes. So keep that in mind, and you guys will have 5 minutes to prepare. So go ahead and self-organize into your groups. All right, guys, here we go. So I'm just going to give everybody 3 minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on the clock so we don't go too long here. And I'm just going to call out group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's start off, group 1. Excuse me, one quick moment. So on your sheets where we had the 5 brain-based learning ideas, there are 6 boxes for the different tools. So feel free to write in any notes if you'd like to during these facilitation sessions. So this is number 1, standing survey. So kick it off, guys.
Thanks, Dylan. My name's Mark Holmes, so we're going to do this in 2 steps. First one, you're going to take a quick little survey to see which one of these topics interests you the most. And then we're going to have you stand and very quickly tell us what your least favorite part of this topic is and what your most favorite part. And that'll make sense here in a second. So the topics we've got: politics or politicians, cars, pizza toppings, and 2016, or let's not say 20, let's say any movie, because that might be too, not enough time. So, here's the topics, and you're going to have to think, what's your favorite politician or politics? What's your least favorite? What's your favorite car? What's your least favorite? So let's vote on these. Everybody gets 3 votes. Who wants politics? Exciting. Who wants cars? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who wants toppings? Pizza toppings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who wants to talk about movies? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to talk about pizza toppings. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. All right, so it sounds like you guys want to talk about pizza toppings. What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? So there's paper on the table. If you guys would grab a piece of paper.
In the interest of time, you want to just do it extemporaneously and have them, since we've only got 3 minutes, well, we'll do that.
Okay. No
We'll pick
paper?
somebody and shoot.
Yeah, all right. Can I have a volunteer who would like to share what their favorite and least favorite toppings are? Leah.
I like
And
barbecue
please stand if you would.
I like barbecue chicken pizza.
Okay.
And cilantro and red onion and chicken and barbecue sauce.
Well, that sounds good. What about your least favorite?
I don't think there's any kind of pizza I don't like, but maybe cheese.
Okay. Here. Anybody else care to share?
I'll go.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is mushroom and onion, and my least favorite is jalapeno and bacon.
Okay. Specific. John, what do you got?
Well, I certainly like pineapple, and nothing makes a room smell like horrid death like anchovies on the pizza.
All right. Great. Raise your hand if you hate anchovy pizza. All right.
Is there such a thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it before, but you always hear about it.
Have it your own.
Only on Caesar salad. Anchovies are best.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles special.
I think so.
Yeah.
One of them, I think one of them liked it, yeah.
Does anybody have a favorite that hasn't been mentioned?
Pepperoni?
All right. Megan?
So this is kind of a combination, but my favorite is jalapeno and pineapple.
Yes. Also my favorite.
All right, first group at a time. Thanks, guys. All right, group number 2, shout outs, come on up.
Do you want to take that?
Sure.
No, I'm just coming up for support.
Oh, okay. All right, so we got shout outs, and in our framework here, it talks about rapid response, so we decided to make it super simple for you guys. So with shout outs, we want everyone to shout out
the best vacation spot in your opinion for an adventure. And then after that, we're gonna ask for reasons why you think that. So the first shout out is we just wanna hear great vacation spots for adventure.
There's only room for 5.
New Mexico.
New Zealand. New Zealand,
Patagonia.
Vieques, Puerto Rico.
Australia, Puerto Rico.
Patagonia.
I think we got 5 already.
Yeah,
I already messed up.
New
Okay,
Zealand.
New Zealand, New Mexico, Patagonia.
I heard California.
Puerto Rico.
No, I heard
No.
Puerto Rico.
Okay. No, we need one more. What was?
Exactly.
We're all blending.
I heard Australia.
Australia, yes, we did.
Oh, Australia.
So that was 5.
Okay.
Wait, are New Zealand and Australia,
Well, they're two
No, no,
different. Geography lessons.
I'm taking maps and that.
Okay, so list out the top 2 reasons why.
Right,
And
so
even
let's
if you just-
start with New Mexico. And somebody give 2 amazing reasons why that's a great place for an adventure.
Green chili and mountains.
What was that?
Green chili and mountains.
Green chili, okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Food and.
Forest Fin Treasure Hunt.
Forest,
Forest Fin Treasure Hunt. A jeweler named Forrest Finn
okay.
buried a treasure. He's still alive. He buried a treasure in New Mexico worth between $1 and $3 million. He wrote a poem about it that has hints, and people have been trying to find it still. And they interview him all the time, and he sometimes gives another hint. But
Okay. 2 items for Patagonia. Somebody said Patagonia.
I'll go mountains.
Mountains?
Okay. Mountains.
Penguins.
Pristine?
Penguins.
Penguins?
Penguins.
Okay, we'll get those in.
New Zealand.
Also penguins.
New Zealand penguins.
There are hobbits in New Zealand.
Very
Jetboating
generous people.
and cool accents.
Highest ice cream consumption per capita.
New
Remember,
Zealand?
this is for an adventure. Puerto Rico.
It's a dairy adventure.
Puerto Rico, what's fun to do in Puerto Rico?
Amazing beaches.
Beaches?
Yes.
Okay.
Rum.
Rum? Okay.
Way cheaper than Hawaii.
That's a different type of adventure.
All right, that's all the time we got. Thank you, guys. All right, group number 3, stand, stretch, and speak.
We've all been sitting a while. You know, it's really good to have some more oxygen to breathe, so we'd like to invite you to stand up and just stretch a little bit. Turn to your neighbor. Talk about one thing you maybe learned tonight while you're stretching. Let that person mirror you. See how it feels.
I learned nobody wants to.
And that's a just not
Nobody wants to.
Nobody wanted to say Trump.
Very good, everybody. Thank you for participating. We're going to continue on with our seminar now.
All right, group number 4, ball toss.
All right, everybody stand up and kind of get in a circle as fast as you can. We are a restaurant and we need to come up with a new kind of potato dish. So we are going to play hot potato. So we have 1 minute to come up with a new or existing awesome potato dish. And we're going to toss the green ball first.
Okay.
And go.
Potato nachos.
home fries.
Fried potato balls.
Potato salad.
Potato poodle.
Loaded baked potato balls.
Potatoes on pizza.
Potatoes with onions.
Tater tot ice cream.
Au gratin.
Au gratin with bacon.
Potato sushi.
I pass, because I already wrote.
Here you go.
I actually really want like a hash brown restaurant.
Like specialty. All right, now we are going to filter down by saying which idea we like the best or worst. Nachos.
Was that best or
I
worst?
love potato, what you said?
Hash brown.
Hash brown.
Like the loaded potato
Balls.
balls. Thank you, sir.
Ditto.
Onions? Is it tater tot ice cream?
Potatoes au gratin. Potato now.
Oops.
Potato nachos. Tater tot ice cream.
I like the hash brown restaurant.
I have to vote for my own tater tot ice cream.
I really want the restaurant.
Alright, it's time.
Thanks, guys. Very nice. All right, group number 5, stand and deliver.
Jeff, I think you're in charge.
Here we go. All right. So we decided that we would pose a question we thought would be fun. So basically, this is you just stand right at your station and you just answer. And you're supposed to share what your superpower would be and why you would choose it. So the question is, if you were a superhero and you had one superpower to pick from, any superpower you want, try to keep it PG. What would be and why? So we'll just start with Leah.
To fly.
Can you stand?
Yeah, so I would like to fly
And why is that?
because it would get me places quickly.
Just kind of keep going on in there.
I think invisibility would be pretty cool, and I could imagine lots of possibilities, both, good and evil with that, so, yeah.
John, go ahead.
Oh, is it my turn? Oh, wow. I think I would be able to fuse metal, steel together, like weld, essentially, but without the welder. Just build some really extraordinary stuff.
I would have the power to make perfect coffee every time. Oh, why? Why? Because coffee's awesome.
Good point.
I like Wolverine's super healy thing, because then you can do all sorts of crazy, stupid things.
I would like to suspend time so I could take a nap whenever I want.
So we'll go back over here.
I would like to be able to travel in time so I can go back and see anything that I want to and maybe change history.
I would have the ability to allow people to feel other people's joy or pain.
I would like to be able to run as fast as Flash, because I like to drive real fast, and I want to go faster than the cops who give me speeding tickets.
I just want to be able to shrink super tiny, like a little ant, and see the world large.
I'm stuck. There were so many good options, and I don't know which one I want yet. Come back to me, please.
Superpowers to be able to make a decision.
Yeah.
I would like to have no fear.
But why?
What?
Yeah, you have to say why.
Oh, so I can just do anything I want. Oh gosh. Is there a rule on like, I want to do the time travel one, that one seems the best. So mostly just to see what it was from dinosaur age to the future, really.
Last table.
Teleportation, like, oh, I forgot to be in the meeting, be there. Go to Mars, be there.
I forgot not to be in the meeting.
Why don't we, you guys are almost there, why don't we do it? Yeah.
I would like the ability to take one sock where there's no other sock because it's been lost, to be able to create the corresponding sock. I would never, ever have a situation where I only have one sock. But you're not wearing socks.
I would probably go back in time, but not for historical reasons, probably more so to like not have any regrets.
I'd like to have the superpower of understanding the pulse of the culture so that every movie I made would be a big hit.
Okay, come up with
Yeah,
one.
Dylan's.
Okay.
Oh,
After Dylan.
Training from the back of the room is already a superpower. The ability to be the laziest facilitator of all time who just sits and makes all the other people do the work. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so mine was the superpower to make other people mute, so when I'm just really tired and done listening to somebody, I don't have to.
Thanks. All right, last one. Group number 6. Where do you stand?
Yeah. Alright.
All right, so hello everybody. I know we're all from different places, so we're gonna ask you to get up and talk to each other. In the center here is gonna be Santa Barbara, and we wanna find out where all your hometowns are and basically arrange yourselves. Which way is east? Which way is east? Is that way? That makes sense, right? That's the way they draw on the maps. All right, so east is that way, west is that way. And so basically, the farther you are, the farther away your hometown is from Santa Barbara, the farther away you should be from the center.
Define hometown.
Yeah,
Hometown is the town that you,
Just pick the town that resonates with you as being really important in your past.
Where's north and south?
Pick one, you gotta pick one.
Oh, yeah, oh, that's for sure. Yeah.
Okay, guys, so last activity. These are super fun. If you're a facilitator, these are a blast for groups to play around with. These are called Rory Story Cubes. There's one at every table except for this one. I'll give these back to you. So the last thing we're going to do here, we're going to do a ball toss to wrap it all up. We're going to take these story cubes, and everybody will take one die, and you can kind of take turns with the dice. Take one die, roll it. So and then you're going to relate whatever you roll to something that you want to take out of this session with you. So for example, if I were to roll a trophy, I might say, I really want to help my team achieve their goals by giving them clarity on their meetings, using diverge and converge, and really honing it into a concrete decision. Okay, so is that clear to everybody? Okay, great. So just go ahead and roll and share with your group what you connected to that you want to take away. All right, it looks like people are pretty much done. Can we get everybody up here in one last big circle, do a final ball toss? So just one final ball toss, just anybody who wants to share something that they learned, an insight they had, maybe something that they need more clarity on this topic, and you can talk to me about it afterwards in more detail, but just throw it out there, a confusion, something you're puzzled about, something you're curious to learn more about, some highlight, some way you'd like to apply it. whatever it is, just highlights. Baltas, who wants it first?
All right, so in terms of active participation, I think anyone who teaches will often tell you, like when you teach something, you really learn it well, and I've experienced that myself. And so, that was sort of the insight was like when you add active participation, you're giving the students the ability to teach and therefore learn on their own. So, I like that.
Nice.
All right, so I didn't understand the exercise for the number 3, and I got really annoyed. And in so doing, I feel like I really alienated one member of our group in particular. And so I think that it's really important if you're trying to facilitate that you keep things fun and easy, and otherwise people will pick up on that energy that you have. It's like, kind of like disgruntled or upset, and it kind of rubs off on people the wrong way.
Thanks for sharing.
Who else?
I learned that ball toss is fun.
Nice.
And I'm terrible at it.
I was grateful that the rest of the team reminded me at some point. I was trying to get really tactical, and they're like, it's just an exercise. And so like levity and humor was really great, so thank you, team. You want it, Poe? I know you should.
At the end of the day, we actually elected to be here, so let's not take it too seriously. Let's just learn something. I think you actually did a very good job of just letting this be a free spirit and making it fun. So thank you very much.
There's more than one way to run a meeting, and at least in my day job, like sometimes I hit everything with the same method, and sometimes it's nice to have different tools.
So I'm so far from home, and then we got here and we did this split up to where you're from thing, and I found out there's a lot of people that took like the same tests going through school that I did based on where we live geographically, and it just was nice to find something to connect on when I thought I might be the only person standing by myself.
Okay. I'm a really kind of slow person, and when I get put on the spot, then I just shout out a random thing, and it's totally not what I would say otherwise. I realized today with the potatoes and the superpowers.
Cool.
So the importance of kind of like multi-sensory approach and like kind of integrating the different skills when you're working together.
I'm just imagining what this would have been like if all the chairs had been in a row and blah, blah, and this is so much better. I mean, you can feel the difference. It's an experience you can feel, I believe.
Yeah, I like the fact that it was highly experiential. If you look around, you can see people smiling and laughing. Love that. I want more of that. Day to day.
I was going to say the experiential part. I love being able to try the concept on pretty much immediately.
Okay, I'll do it.
Hey. Reflexes.
She can give lessons.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I want to take this into non-engineering meetings that have to do with some business people, some meetings that are dragging on and low energy, and I think there's some techniques here that can help keep that moving.
This is kind of laser focused, I guess, but I like what you're saying about the reticular activator.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of times, my wife and I, it seems like we're agreeing and then we're not. And it seems like it works sometimes. It seems like I'm conveying the message that I want to convey, and then sometimes I'm not. And so it's maybe finding a way to activate that part of the brain and engage. And I think some of the things we learned here tonight would maybe help. We can apply some of those in the office. So I thought that was.
You can use the ball toss with her.
I don't know. I'm afraid I'm just throwing me.
Use a softball.
Oh, sorry.
Interception.
I really love the math in the beginning because I think a lot of times it's easy to spend in that groan zone because of human nature, all you want to do is gripe. So I love that there's tools to get you out of that growing zone, whether it's the conversion or the divergent thinking.
I spent a lot of time today observing as to how we're facilitating and what effects that had, and I tend to not do that in normal meetings, so it's a good reminder that I should.
Awesome. All right. Well, I learned a lot. It was amazing just to watch you guys. So why don't you guys give yourselves a round of applause for teaching each other. It was amazing to just watch you guys doing your thing. Yeah, thank you all so much for coming. And I think we've got some feedback forms on the tables. So if you guys wouldn't mind filling those out. Is there anything else?
Amos, welcome. I know you guys are here from far away, and tell us about your podcast.
So I've been doing a podcast for 4 years. It's a panel-based podcast. We have, it's called This Agile Life. It's about Agile development. We have a couple developers, a CTO, a couple Agile coaches. We've been doing it for a while, and it comes out every week on Sundays usually, unless we are sick and stuff. And we kind of have a rotating panel, so it's not always me. I'm the most obnoxious person on there, so as long as you can stand my voice, you might actually enjoy it. And this year we are hosting, for the 3rd year in a row, we've been invited back to the Agile Games Conference in Boston. And I heard people talking about Scrum points, or I don't remember exactly what they're called because I'm not involved in Scrum a lot. But it is sponsored by the Scrum Alliance too, and you can get points there. It's a really cool conference that we will be doing a live podcast at.
And you brought all these lovely stickers.
And I brought stickers. If anybody wants
Oh, you
stickers,
got stickers.
it's Agile Life stickers.
Remind you.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Should we pass them around?
Yeah.
Just don't take us too seriously. It's just a bunch of people that we used to sit around like this and talk about Agile, and then we decided one day we should just record it. And so that's what we.
All right. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, so there's feedback forms on the center of the table. If you could just take a moment, fill them out, and then just put them on the table as you go. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Dylan.
Thank
Very,
you guys.
very, next month, March 22nd, we have a group from Hunter Industries, the original mob, talking about mob programming, and I think it's at Appfolio, March 22nd. Any
They're awesome.
questions? Look for it on the meetup. We'll send an announced thing out, but that should be really fun. We'll talk about pairing, we'll talk about mobbing, and we invited their whole team to come, so we'll see. It should be really fun and interesting. So.
One of Woody's.
Woody Zool's, yeah, I guess he's part of the original mob, and he's actually with Hunter, I think, again, and doing other sorts of evangelizing of this method or this practice. And so Chris Lucian and others from the group that work there today, they've spawned multiple mobs in their environment, so they're going to talk to us about what they do, how they do it. So, cool. Thanks again.